Hi all, good morning. Okay, today we will see the remaining topics in the Snowflake console. Okay, so for example, we are discussing the options that are available in Snowflake console. Okay, like how to create tables, views, okay, stages, storage integration, file formats, all these things from console. So we have seen all the other options. Okay, like how to create tables, how to create views, how to create stages, how to create storage integration, how to create file formats, okay, and how to create sequence, how to create pipe, and all those things. And we need to see what is stream, what is task, and of course, what is function, procedure, and dynamic table. These options are left with. So, okay, first let us complete the function, procedure, and dynamic table. Then we will come to stream and task. So, as I already said in the earlier classes, what are the database objects? Database objects are like tables, views, users, stored procedures, cursors, triggers. Okay, database schema. All these are called database objects. Okay, anything that we create in the database are called database objects. Generally, of course, most widely used are tables and views. And apart from that, even cursors, triggers, stored procedures, functions, all these things are called database objects. So these functions are same as the other database functions. Like in Oracle, we have in Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL Server, we have of course in any database we have the same function. What is a function? Function will take some input and will return some output. Okay, I mean whatever you can write any DMLs within that function, but it should return a value. Okay, function must return a value. Whereas, for example, you see, a manager comes, he says, because managers means they're functional, right? So he says, hey, I want to give employee ID as the input, but as soon as I enter employee ID, I should get his salary as the output. Okay, so in such cases, we can means we'll give some input, okay, and we want some output as a written value. So in such cases, function. Okay, but even more functionality than functions are like procedures. Procedures like we can do everything, all the ETL. Last 2 days we were discussing, right? ETL versus pipeline. Earlier, old terminology is ETL, but new terminology is pipeline. Okay, piping, building different, pipes means basically extracting data from sources, loading into stage, and from stage loading into work area, and from work to target, or directly from stage to target. So the entire flow is called pipeline. So the entire whole thing we can implement using SQL. Okay, like first loading into stage, that means that is one export, and from stage to work, insert select, and from work to target, another insert select into target table. In between there may be joins with different other tables based on the logic. The whole script we can put it in a procedure and we can run the procedure. Okay, so basically whatever earlier, when there is no ETL tools available, everything was carried out using procedures only. Okay, procedures, packages, okay, these are all there in Oracle because it's been there long time. But after ETL tools came, like Informatica, Data Stage, Ab Initio, even recently the Talend and Metallion, these are all the latest tools, Talend and Metallion. uh, these ETLs came, and there is not much use of these procedures and all, because whatever the ETL thing is doing, they are achieved by the ETL tools like Talent and Metallion, and of course Informatica is there since long time. Yeah. So when these ETL tools came, the use of using a writing code, using procedures and packages, it's gone actually. It's not used because doing with ETL tools is much easier actually. So basically they are actually procedures are used for writing or implementing any ETL code. you will write series of SQLs like DDLs. DDLs you cannot use. Okay, yeah, that's what yesterday I said. The limitation with procedure is you cannot use DDL. Remaining all you can use. Okay, you can insert, update, delete, or you can do, okay, whatever you want to do. You can even call another procedure in this procedure, so like that. Okay, so all those things we can do and achieve our functionality of loading data into target table. So yeah, these are all, same known things. And dynamic table, if you see, till now we have seen table, right? Standard table means create table, table name, okay, column data type, that one. And another thing also we have seen, create table, table name as select star from another table. Okay, so for example, we have seen how to create table with data and with DDL. For example, I want to have employee underscore temp table from EMP table. So means I want to have employee underscore temp. It should have same DDL like EMP table with data. So in such cases, create table EMP underscore temp as select star from EMP. So that is what this as select example. Even if you see, click here, see create table, table name as your select query. So create table, table name EMP underscore temp as select star from EMP. So it will create employee underscore temp DDL same as EMP DDL with data. So like that we have, tables we have discussed, the normal tables. The dynamic table means, I mean, generally normal table we are creating before we can use it. Okay, normal table what? It may be using create table or create table select or create table using external or create table using file. We are creating it first, the normal table. Okay, we are creating it and then we are using it. But the dynamic table is not like that. It will be created dynamically during the ETL. Okay, so I will show you something. Means for that you need to know about, how the real time works. For example, in real time, what I said, we'll first export the data into stage. That is step one. And in step two, from stage table, we will insert into work table. Will be created dynamically during ETL process. Okay, I'll tell you how. For example, what happens during normal or ETL pipeline? Source will be there. Okay, so from source we load it into stage. Okay, from stage stage means it is stage table. Okay, stage means stage table. From stage we load it into work table, and from work we load it into target table. So okay, from source to stage, what they will do is they will do export. Okay, here they will do actually export, or you can say unload. Okay, so and stage table. Okay, so the unloaded table will be loaded into, means whatever data coming from source. Okay, so it is loaded into stage table. Okay, so what is that process is called? We are calling it as export. Okay, so basically data will be exported or unload. Okay, you can do anything. I mean, terminology different. Okay, different databases will call for example, if you use Redshift, they call it unload. Okay, and if you use Teradata, they call it as export. So terms different, but no worries. The thing is, we are exporting data from source and loading into stage table. Okay, okay, okay. So to load it into stage table, there are two things. One is stage table should be already created. That is method one. Or while unloading itself, you can create the table. That is method two. So what is method one? While unloading means from source you're unloading, right? From source while unloading, we are loading into stage table. So in order to load into stage table, first of all, table should be there, right? Yes. So you can create a table that is like normal table. Okay, means you're already creating normal table, and then of course you can unload into the table. Actually, when you unload, you will unload into some file actually. Okay, that file you will again insert into stage. Okay, that's so actually it is two-step process. Always in AWS, always data will go to S3, right? Similarly, in Snowflake, always data will go to stage. Okay, stage. That stage data we will insert into stage table using copy command. Okay, that's a different. So here this stage table, I'm telling, we that table might the stage table might be already available, or we might be creating. If it is already available, that's a normal process. For example, okay, source is, let's say, employee. Okay, employee from MySQL. Okay, MySQL. Okay, so that data we want to load it into. What is our target actually? This is target means Snowflake table. Okay, Snowflake table. Okay, its name is employee. EMPLOYE. Okay, this is our target table. We want to load here. Okay, so from MySQL, we'll export the data. What happens is in step one, what is our source? MySQL, right? MySQL. From MySQL, we export the data. Okay, so we export. Okay, so we export to where? Stays. Snowflake stays. In AWS, if it is AWS, source data will come to S3. In Google Cloud, source data will come to GCS bucket. In Azure, it will come to Azure bucket. Right? Similarly, in Snowflake, it will come to Snowflake stays. Okay. Any data that is coming from source has to first land in stays. Any data that is coming from source in AWS, that has to come into S3. Any data that come to Google, it should come to GCS bucket. So like that, every has one storage layer, right? So here in Snowflake, storage is stage. So from source, we do export, and that export, okay, will place the data in the stage. Okay, that is Snowflake stage. So in the second step, the stage, actually the stage means stage data. Okay, what is that? We are exporting data only, right? So in the second step, data will be loaded into stage table. This is table. Okay, this is file actually. This is file. Okay, this is table. Okay, so when we're getting data from other systems, it may be source system or whatever system, how we get the data? We get the data in file format, right? It may be CSV, Parquet, ORC, RC, whatever it may be. That's why when you first get the data, that is always a file. It may be coming from internal environment, like means within the Snowflake environment, or it may be coming from other environment. But when we get the file first to storage, that is stays, it's always in file format. Okay, it may be like CSV. That's why we read about, what are different file formats. Different file formats are like CSV, Parquet, ORC, like that. So in stays, data is always in file format. That's why they'll ask question, what are different types of file formats you have worked on? I have worked with different file formats like CSV, Parquet, ORC, RC and all. But mostly I have worked on CSV and Parquet. Okay. So once the data is in that file format, then the data will be loaded into stage table. Okay. That means from file, you are loading into table. Why table? Because if you want to query the data, you cannot query CSV file, right? You cannot query Parquet file. So we have to load the data into a table form. That's why whatever data we get in the file format, it may be like CSV, Parquet, ORC, JSON, whatever it may be, we load it into a table. Okay, first time you load it into a table, so that is called stage table. Okay, data will be loaded into stage table. Where from you are loading? From Snowflake stage. Since you're loading from stage file, so it is called stage table, or generally it is stage table only. First time you are loading from source to, okay, Snowflake table, that is called stage table. Okay, so yeah, stage table is there. So now here from file, you are loading into file to data will be loaded into stage table, right? So this table, where from it came? So either you have to create it, means you already created before loading it. That's what I mean. Okay, file data need to be loaded into stage table, right? So if you want to load it in stage table, you have to create the table. So you can create the table before doing this load step, or while loading itself you can create it. While loading it means you have not created this table before. Okay, you while loading only you want to create, that is called dynamic table. Actually, dynamic table means you are not creating before using the table. Okay, so what are two methods I said? One method is you can create a table and then use the table to insert into the insert into the data from file. Okay, that means, okay, you will create the table and keep it so that you can insert the data into this table. Otherwise, you can directly insert into this stage table, which is not created before. It's not created, you want to create at the name of insertion. That is called dynamic table. Okay, so now let me show you the, I mean, document wording. I mean, same thing only, but let's see what he wrote. Okay, so dynamic tables are new declarative way of defining your data pipeline in Snowflake. It's a new kind of Snowflake table which is defined as a query to continuously and automatically materialize the result of that query as a table. Okay, so that's all. If you define a dynamic table, it automatically get loaded. Okay, you don't have to create any table. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so what is the, okay? So you see here this difference. What is the difference between materialized view and dynamic table? Materialized views are designed to improve query performance. Yeah, we already know. Okay, materialized views are designed for improving query performance. Okay, for example, we have base table, query optimization, and reload lot. Okay. Dynamic tables are designed to build multi-level data pipeline. Okay. Anyway, you may not be able to understand. So just remember whatever I said. Okay. Dynamic tables are tables created automatically during the pipeline. That's it. So So yeah, dynamic, it's a new kind of Snowflake table which is defined as a query to continuously and automatically materialize the result of the query, okay, as a table. That means if it is a dynamic table, see here, the method one I said, you create this table before and load that, okay. If it is a dynamic table, as and when this data is there, it will automatically load and table will be created automatically. You don't have to create any table explicitly outside. Okay, so yeah, that will be generally used during pipelines. Okay, if they are using some streams, I'll tell you what is streams and all. Okay, so if they are using some streams or any streaming, like there are some streaming tools are there in the real time. Okay, so in such cases, manual intervention is not possible. So they have to create the tables automatically. Okay, some streams are like Kafka, Kinesis. Okay, here in Snowflake it is called stream. Okay, the next concept is stream only. I'll tell you what is that. In such cases you cannot create tables manually and use it. So at that time we will ask Snowflake to create the table automatically based on the source data. So in such cases they may be using dynamic tables. Okay, so basically, what is dynamic data? Okay, it's a new declarative way of defining your data pipeline in Snowflake. Okay, so it's a new kind of Snowflake table which is defined as a query to continuously and automatically materialize results means creating table actually. Okay, materialize results of that query as a table means creating table as select star from table. Okay, create table as select star from query. Materializing the results means using that result to create a table. That's what the term. Okay, utilizing the results means whatever is there as part of that query, it will use that result to create a table. Okay, so it happens automatically during the pipeline. That's why it is called dynamic table. Okay, dynamic tables are again anyway, it's a new feature in the Snowflake. So I mean, just in case if somebody asks, okay, what is a dynamic table, you should not think like I may not know or I don't know. Okay, so see here, why I mean, where do we use dynamic table? This is what I said already. Dynamic tables are building blocks for continuous data pipelines. Continuous data pipeline means streaming. Okay, I said right, streaming, like Kafka, Kinesis. Okay, here in Snowflake there is concept called streams. Continuous data means continuously loading data. Okay, dynamic tables are building blocks for continuous data pipeline. They are the easiest way to build a data transformation pipeline in Snowflake across batch and streaming use cases. Yeah. Basically, dynamic table, if at all they want to use, they can use with streaming application. Streaming means continuously coming data. For example, you see, if you see live is there, right? Cricket live or TV programs lives and all. So as they are playing, we will be able to see. See means not immediately, maybe with 2-3 minutes lag or 1 minute lag, 5 minutes lag, but entire program we will be able to see. What happens is the whole, whatever the video there, it will be streamed. Okay, whatever is coming, the data will come in packets, right? Data packets. So as and when it comes, it sends to the audience. Same thing. As and when the data available, it sends to the target application. Okay, that is called actually streaming. Means continuous data sending is called actually streaming. Okay, actually the jobs in the real time, most of them are batch jobs. Batch jobs means, for example, every day whatever the ATM transactions are generated, they will be loaded at the end of the day. Means maybe at night, for all the 24 hours data it will be sent and loaded at the end of the day into the warehouse. That is actual batch jobs. Most of them are batch jobs. But some applications, like streaming applications, they want as and when transaction generates, it should be reflected. Okay, streaming applications means if something happens, immediately it should be loaded. That is called streaming applications. So in such cases, okay, so like streaming, I told, right, streaming cricket, streaming games. So as and when something is coming from the source, it is reflected in the target. So in such cases, the streaming applications will be useful. So yeah, so for in such cases, dynamic tables are required, or they can be the best use case to use it. So dynamic tables are building blocks. Building blocks means, I mean, building. What is building block? Means they are the most suitable. That's what it is. Building blocks means they are the nut and bolt. Okay, means they are the most suitable or ideal for continuous data pipelines. They are easiest ways to build data transformation pipelines in Snowflake across batch and stream use cases. Okay. See, basically, see here, dynamic tables are in preview, means they are actually new feature, okay, in the Snowflake. So basically, most of the people, they don't even aware, okay, what is dynamic tables, because it's a new feature. Okay, so its preview means not yet available in the current production. Okay, preview means not released yet, not go available. Okay, but yeah, I just said because you see, when you are seeing here, if you don't know, like something, what is dynamic table, you might be asking. That's why I just said, okay. Dynamic table is a table that is created automatically during the pipeline. So yeah, so that is dynamic table. So now stream and task. Okay, we will discuss what is stream and what is task. As I already said, stream. Now I said, right. I said some of the streaming softwares. Okay, Apache Kafka, they called actually Kafka. Okay, and another thing is Kinesis. Kinesis is AWS service. Okay, or managed streaming for Kafka, they call it as. I mean, that is one more. What is actually Kafka is a open source software. Okay, Apache Kafka is a open source software. So they took that open source and converted, I mean, with some features AWS, and they made it as managed streaming for Kafka, or managed service for Kafka, MSK they call it as. Okay, so, and of course there are many other softwares for streaming. Streaming means for continuous data loading. That's what I'm telling, right? Continuous data loading is nothing but streaming. So if Snowflake also don't give that option or feature, it may not be suitable for whatever the customers who need streaming applications, right? Because there may be some 10% of the customers who might be using streaming, or every customer there may be some business, okay, where they want to do some streaming kind of analysis. So for that, so the software must be supporting some kind of streaming. So the Snowflake Streams came into picture. Means if anyone has streaming application, means they want to lives, okay, they want to present lives, or they want to get the data live immediately. As and when transaction happens, it should be reflected in the warehouse. That kind of application. Not, for example, today transaction happens, it should be reflected today only. Maybe 5-6 minutes lag, that's fine, but it should be reflected today. In fact, nowadays everything like that only, right? Even you see, as and when we do ATM transaction or even credit card it is immediately reflecting, right, in our statement. So that is basically actually streaming. Okay, so the moment you withdraw, even you withdraw from other ATMs also, it is reflecting in our bank statement, right? If it is from same ATM, it's okay. Okay, this same bank. Even you're doing from other bank ATM, but still it is reflecting. So it all happens in the backend through streams. Means as and when transaction happens, the transactions will be reflected within the warehouse. Actually, this particular transaction happens in the backend databases. Okay, so backend databases means the OLTP systems like MySQL or SQL Server or RDS in case they are using cloud. Okay, RDS or RDS Oracle, those things. But the same thing can also be reflected in the warehouse if they are using streaming services. Streaming services, and every database will provide streaming services. Okay, so Oracle streams they have, Teradata has also streams. Okay, and other if they don't have, they will be using Apache Kafka as a streaming. Okay, Apache Kafka. Okay, because that is open source. Okay, and of course, if they are using cloud, they can use AWS has two. Okay, one is Apache Kafka Managed Service, that is MSK, Managed Streaming for Kafka, or the other one is Kinesis. Kinesis is also another service of course. This is Kinesis is proprietary service of the AWS. They have invented that service. Okay. Similarly, Snowflake also has its own streaming service that is called Streams. Okay, they are named it as Stream. Stream. Okay. The what this service will do? It will continuously gets the data from source and gives it to the target system. That is the application of Snowflake Stream. Okay. So what is the stream? Stream is used for continuous data loading. Okay, it checks whether the data is available in the source system and immediately feeds means gives or loads to the target system. That is what Snowflake Stream. What is the use of stream? That's what they, or what is a stream? What is the use of streaming? Or have you worked on stream? These are the three questions you may get about it. I mean, so if the interviewer is aware of this streaming, otherwise you don't even ask. Stream is used for continuous data loading. That is the answer. What is the stream? Stream is used for continuous data loading. Okay. As and when the data is available in the source system, it takes the data and feeds it. Feeds means giving or loads it into the target system. Okay. Have you worked on Snowflake streams? Yes, I of course I have worked on. Then do you know how to configure? Yes. Everything you should say yes, yes, yes. Even the one who is asking, he also not aware. Even if he aware, you should be able to tell. Okay. So Snowflake stream. Okay, it is used for continuous data loading. Okay, so now let us see what documentation says. Same it says. Okay, so but always referring, because sometimes interviewers also read the Google and ask questions. So that's why before we only will do that. Okay, what is Snowflake stream? Okay, so basically, I'm sure you may not be able to understand. That's fine. I will tell you, okay, what it means. Okay, streaming and non-streaming. Okay, non-streaming means right, the batch data. Streaming means continuous data. Okay, streaming means continuous data, like live programs. Non-streaming means batch loading, means loading at the end of the day. Okay, all the developments we do, basically we schedule it, right? Any job we are scheduling means that's a non-streaming or batch data. Okay, streaming and non-streaming data pipelines. Data pipeline means ETL. I have already said. Okay, everything that we build queries to load data, that is called data pipeline or ETL. That's why I introduced all these terms basically. Okay, so that is called ETL or data pipeline or a key piece of this cloud data platform. Okay, Snowflake streams and task feature. Okay, what is Snowflake streams and tasks feature enable you to build data pipelines and turn Snowflake into a nimble data transformation in addition to powerful data. Okay, so basically he said it will make powerful, but how it makes powerful? Because of continuous data loading. That point actually he missed. Okay, streams and tasks feature enable you to build data pipeline to turn Snowflake into very good powerful engine. But how it makes engine? Because of continuous data loading. That is explained in this question. What are streams and tasks in Snowflake? Streams ensure exactly once semantics for new changed data in a table. Tasks can also be used independently to generate periodic reports by inserting or merging rows into a report table or perform other periodic work. Here you need to know the periodic. Okay, there are two things you need to know here. One is periodic, other one is changed data. Changed data. Okay, changed data, and another one periodic. Periodic means as and when available. That is what periodic. As and when available. It may be new data or changed data. Okay, so as and when available, okay, some new data. Okay, okay, change data also new data, right? For example, your account balance, okay, is some 10,000. Tomorrow you deposited, then it became 15. So that record also will come, okay, as and when you deposit. Or even you withdraw also, for example, 10,000 became 5,000. That also record will come. So as and when some new data available, okay, it just loads. That is what actually stream means continuous data loading, I said, right? Yeah, that's what. So that's why it made even Snowflake, very powerful software. I mean, anything that supports streams is definitely, powerful, because it is also useful for continuous data loading. Otherwise, if the streaming support is not there, come customers will think, right, no, I think we need streaming. Okay, so you see, without that is called real time loading. You see, if you're not reflecting transactions immediately, then you see we cannot wait till tomorrow to know the changes. So that software may not will become famous or even powerful. So nowadays, if any software, they have to support the streaming. Okay, then only customers will prefer it actually. Okay, so yeah, streams ensure exactly, okay, if any new data is coming, it will actually loaded immediately. That's what actually streams. Okay, so but yeah, that's why if you see the, you know if you see actually the textbook or documentation, he will use some technical term which you may not be, new, or you may not be able to understand. Okay, so streams ensure exactly once semantics for new or changed data in a table. Okay, tasks can also be used independently to generate periodic reports by inserting or merging rows. So that's what it will do. It will insert or merge. Okay, insert means new data, merge means change data. I mean, uh, yeah, you can say anything, whether it's changed data or new data. As and when new data comes, okay, it will insert into a table. That's what you need to understand. Okay, so if it is a new data, okay, you can insert it, because if it is a new record, if it's a changed record, okay, so generally, if it is changed record, you can do insert, if, okay, new record, and update the existing record. But the term they recently called is merge. It's not recent, but generally merge is more powerful way of updating records if they are already existing. Okay, that's why they are calling inserting or merging rows into a table from or perform other periodic work. So as and when a new data available, okay, so these streams are capable of loading the data into the table. So that's what is streams. Streams is used for continuous data loading into a table. So as and when data available, that means periodic, means as and when data available, streams are able to take the data and load it into table. I said load it, but actually that load it means insert or merge into a table. That's what. So so if you go through like documentation, you will see this kind of terms, but if you talk orally, whatever I said is actually okay. So so yeah, what is streams? Streams are used for continuous data loading or data streaming. Okay, as and when data is available in the source, stream is able to take the data and load it into target. Load, or you can say it can insert or merge it into a target table. So that's it. So okay, if you want, you of course you can also open the links and of course read. But actually, my advice is go through this kind of questions only. These questions will help a lot because okay, because it is like question answer, so it is easy. Okay, so yeah, once you cover these things, then you can go into documentation and see, okay, what is what. Okay, you see introduction to task. Okay, okay. Anyway, I'll tell you what is task and all. You see, task means task only, but let's see what he said. A task can execute, one of the following types of SQL code: single SQL call, procedure. A task can be combined with table streams for continuous ETL workflows to process recently changed table rows. Streams ensure exactly one semantics per new change row. Wow, why it's all waste? Yeah, task means a continuous, series of activities you do, right? That is called a task. Okay, it may be like inserting like single SQL. He said, right? Single SQL, or calling a procedure, or running series of SQLs. Okay, procedural logic. You see, this is called procedural logic using Snowflake scripting means series of SQLs. What I said in procedure, we'll keep inserts, updates, deletes. Like okay, first taking data from source and then inserting into stage, then inserting into work, and then loading into target. All these continuous SQLs. We put it in a procedure. So all these things, each one is called a task actually. Okay, and this task can be even streaming also. Streaming also one task, right? Means it continuously loads the data. Means the job which or the queries which are done or used by stream will run continuously as and when the data available. So these are all called tasks actually. Okay, so server can know hauling. Okay. Okay, so task is what is task? You can define task as yeah see, actually, he did not define anywhere. He just wrote something. You see, tasks can be used independently to generate periodic reports by inserting or merging rows into a report or table. Okay, task is basically it's a work. Okay, or it's a Snowflake service which can automatically do insert or update or run any SQL queries. That's what a task. Okay, so but let's see what is there any definition? What is Snowflake task? I don't think there will be any definition, but let's see. Snowflake tasks can be chained together to create complex data processing workflows. Chaining tasks allows you to define dependencies between tasks, ensuring that a task is executed only after its predecessor tasks have been completed successfully. Okay, you see what he's telling is series of activities linking together. Same thing. Task means um, for example, say let us take the same ETL step. To load it into Snowflake table from MySQL, what are the different steps? One is export the data from MySQL. Same thing, see here. Source is MySQL. Then export the data from MySQL. Okay. And when you export, the exported data will be in a stage in a file format. And then file, you load it into stage table. Okay. From stage, you load it into work table. From work table, you load it into target table. So each one is a task basically. Okay. Source to stage. Okay. Generating file is one task. Okay. So From file to loading into stage table is another task. From stage to work table. Okay, this is another task. And work table to target table is another task. So all these tasks are chained together. Is means linking together is called, you know, Snowflake tasks. Okay, Snowflake tasks can be chained. Chained means linked. Okay, because all our jobs are not independent, right? It has to be done one by one. Okay, Snowflake tasks can be chained together to create complex data processing workflow. So if you link all these things, what happen? It's a complete, data processing or complex data processing pipeline. Okay, so chain it together to create complex data processing workflow. Chaining tasks. Okay, chaining task means linking tasks allows you to define dependencies between tasks, ensuring that a task is executed only after its predecessor. Okay, tasks have been completed success. Okay, fine. Okay, so what is streams? Okay, we will see within the Snowflake itself. Actually, in tasks, we can define dependencies. So let's see. Means there are multiple tasks. Okay, so if you come here, create. Now we can see what is the syntax for creating stream and a task. Okay, you can click each one. Create stream, stream name. Same thing. Okay, so on table, table name. Okay, create stream, stream name. On table, table name. So hyphen hyphen, those are all comments. Okay, so at or before timestamp. Okay, so you can give some timestamp, or these are all again options. Okay, so if you remember, offset, okay, like means every seconds we can define. If you see, I think while discussing some topic, we discussed this offset 5 minutes. Yeah, okay, or 10 minutes means to recover the data. Okay, so if you define the time here, okay, and also append only means merge. Actually merge means add it, merge it. Okay, or insert only true means insert it, we can mention like that. So for every time that we have given, it will try to check. Okay, for every 5 minutes, let's say every 5 minutes it will try to check, and if any new data comes, it will merge it into this table. Okay, so if you create a stream like that. Okay, so if you create a stream with, for example, offset 5 minutes, then for every 5 minutes, if you define, append only true or insert only true, if you put insert only true for every 5 minutes, if any new data comes, it will insert. Or append only true if every 5 minutes, then every 5 minutes it will check. If any updated data comes, it will merge like that. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, this nobody will bother. They will just ask, what is stream, or like what is its application or what it will do. So that's what we should be, familiar. And similarly, task. Let's see what is this task. Create task, task name. Okay, so warehouse, yeah, of course, warehouse we need to mention. Okay, see, I said right there we will be able to schedule tasks. So here, schedule. Okay, so it means at what time? Like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or half an hour, or using cron. Cron is a Linux scheduler. Means in Linux they will be scheduling. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, this is a cron expression. Means you can mention, how frequently you want to run. That is what this schedule. Okay, like daily at 1 p.m. or weekly, 7 days, something you can mention. Okay, so schedule. Yeah, of course, a timeout. Uh-huh. comment after string when boolean. Okay, as SQL. Yeah, this is important. Basically, you can forget about comments. Only focus on create task name. Okay, on which warehouse you want to run. This is another actual feature of Snow Task is you can mention the warehouse name. Okay, because I said right, there are many warehouses we can have. Okay, so you can mention on which warehouse you want to run this task. Okay, and you can schedule. This schedule option we will be using generally means every 1 p.m. at every day, or 5 p.m. or something, or weekend, maybe every Sunday, like that we can mention. Okay, so as what query you want to run, this is the query. That's it. Here you need to give the query, then that query will run every day. This is nothing but, this the same concept in AWS is called, or Redshift is called, scheduling of the query. Okay, here the name is task. Simple. In Redshift we can schedule the query. Okay, that is called, query scheduling, or scheduling. Okay, so we can schedule in, of course, in GCP also we have, query scheduling. We can schedule the query. The same thing here, it's called task. Okay, so you can have a query and you can schedule it. That's it. Okay, so only, terminology differs. Okay, but yeah, but if you know one particular database correctly, then we can easily, compare what it is. Okay, so I already said, right? So here the task is nothing but scheduling in the AWS Redshift. Okay, the stream is nothing but Kinesis or MSK in the AWS Redshift. Okay, so yeah, rest all will be same, like DDLs, DMLs, queries, functions, procedures. They all will be same in any database. Okay, but this new feature of scheduling, because Snowflake is single software, right? It's only data warehouse. You don't have any other services. So they came up with these tasks. Okay, so which is used for scheduling. Okay, so streams means, since Snowflake don't have any other services, streams, okay, is the concept which is used for continuous data loading, or streaming, or real-time data loading. So that's it. Okay, so why we are familiar getting know these concepts, because just in case if they ask, in fact they may ask in the new technology, every term they will ask generally, whether you know or don't know. Okay, so generally it's not that you will work on it, but they will expect that you know these terms. Okay, so what they ask mostly is, till now what are we covered. Okay, till now, for example, we covered, right? So these are all, last concepts. Okay, so till now what are we covered, those things will be asked actually. Okay, main, what are different types of tables. Okay, so, and main, what they will ask is, yeah, architecture part is important. I mean, how nicely you will explain the architecture part. Okay, and the virtual warehouse is important. Yeah, editions important. Okay, so yeah, different types of tables important. Main, they will ask, mostly time travel and fail safe. They will spend minimum 10 minutes on these two things only. Because that's what, as a developer, sometimes you see, for example, if some table drop, okay, you should know how to use time travel to revert it back. Okay, so they will ask, I mean, compulsory questions. What are different types of tables? In that, you don't need to tell dynamic table. Okay, that's why I covered dynamic table separately. In fact, it's a new feature, not even go live. So you no need to tell. Tables means only, whatever we covered, temporary, transient, and permanent. That's it. And the time travel fail safe. These things only they will more stress. Okay, so yeah, and what is time travel, what is fail safe, and what is zero copy cloning, yeah, and clustering, micro partition. All interview questions will, of course, stages again. What is stage, what is internal stage, what is external stage, what is user stage. Okay, what is named stage. Those things only they will ask. Okay, and what are file formats, views, materialized views, differences. Yeah, these things only they will ask actually. of course. How do we connect, how do we connect Snowflake to, AWS, like that? Some people may ask. Then we should say that, we need to define the storage integrator. Okay, there we will be defining the role and the bucket. Okay, based on the integrator, it will connect. Yeah. Then all others are like, theory questions. What is stream? What is task? Okay, those things. So now with this, okay, we have covered like whatever is there in the console. Okay, so table view, store, I mean everything. Okay, so okay, in the next few sessions, we will see, okay, any system tables. Okay, so maybe some people will ask, not ask, that is important. That's why I'm telling. Whether they ask or don't ask, that is important if you want to do any performance optimization or any some advanced kind of thing. Okay, something more than other people. Okay, so yeah, there is some things are there. Maybe another some 2 3 classes. I will tell you that. Okay, maybe in next. Okay, so in the next class, so take your time, read everything that is covered till now. Okay, so tomorrow is Saturday, right? We'll meet on Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Try to cover all the videos. Okay, if I ask question, you should be able to answer. Okay, in fact, I will ask questions. Okay, in the next class. Till now, whatever is covered, I'll ask whatever I covered only. Okay, I don't ask anything else. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, Monday you prepare. We'll meet on Tuesday. Okay, so some additional tasks are there. Okay, I will tell you maybe another. Okay, 2 3 classes. Okay, yeah, yeah. Any questions?
No, Krishna.
Okay, yeah, yeah, sure, Arno. Okay, Monica. Okay, Harika, take care then. See you on Tuesday. Tuesday.
Yeah, Krishna. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.